So, Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3 was a pretty good episode, I'm not gonna lie. This show is tackling so much, not only in like real life issues, but also just like the basic Marvel issues, you know, of like bad guys, superheroes, dealing with the consequences of all of that, the blip, etc. There are a lot of characters that shine this episode. Obviously, Bucky and Sam are always shining factors of the show because it is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It is their show. But this episode, we also got Zemo, which, as angry as I was for Bucky going to see Zemo, I really liked Zemo. And even in this episode, he talks about how, like with Steve, we put these super soldiers, these heroes, on such a pedestal, but we forget. We get so wrapped up in them, we forget to see their flaws, their faults. And then with all these heroes, like Vision says in Civil War, with all these heroes, then you have all these super villains. You got a point. You're not wrong. Like, we're halfway through the show already, and it doesn't even feel like it. But yeah, the show opens up with an ad for that thing, the global, I think it's the Global Repatriation Council. This council, this whole government thing is made up to help all the people who have been displaced by the blip, like all the people that came back. So that's what they kind of do. They help the people that were gone from the blip, which is a good thing. But then also, like what Carly's been talking about, is that the government is so focused on the people that came back from the blip that they're ignoring and displacing all of the people that were here for the last 5 years trying to get some normalcy back. It's a very hard thing to navigate because you're like, these people were living here for the last 5 years, but before that it was your place, but like, how do we go about that? And then we see John Walker going to the place where Carly was welcome. The guy that was harboring Carly, she's not there. John Walker's character is asking this guy, where is she? And he's like, I'm not gonna tell you. This guy's like, I'm not gonna tell you. And then John Walker, thinking he's total hot shit, is like, do you know who I am? And the guy's like, yes, I do, and I don't care. And it's like, yeah, he doesn't care. Steve Rogers would not yell at this guy. He would like try to like reason with him. He wouldn't just yell at this guy and be like, do you know who I am? I'm Steve fucking Rogers. We see Bucky and Sam going to a prison in Germany to get Zemo. I was very nervous about this because the last time we saw Zemo with Bucky alone, it didn't go so well. And this time I was tense. And Zemo starts saying those words and I'm just like, luckily Bucky's like, that don't work on me anymore. And then Zemo's like, oh, I was just making sure. I heard about your new life, that you're healthy now. How's that going for you? Zemo, you're getting on my nerves. Episodes started out with me like being like, I am so tense and weary and nervous about Zemo, to I'm getting down with Zemo, teaming up with them. I'm liking this. I'm getting with this. And Zemo, it's kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend in that sense. Zemo is enemies with Falcon and Bucky, but Zemo doesn't like superheroes. He doesn't like that there's all these super soldiers running around. He's like, no, that's not what I want. So they have to team up with Zemo because Zemo's like, I don't want all these people running around. And Sam and Bucky are like, yeah, exactly. Bucky, because it's Bucky and he has a tendency to not care about the law, he decides like, I think we need to break Zemo out of prison. And as he's telling Sam that we need to do this, you see like probably flashback. So Bucky breaks Zemo out of this German prison. Okay, Bucky, I love you, but you're being dumb. But like, he wasn't dumb because like Zemo was pretty helpful this episode. It's like, that's fine. There's a few things I've learned about Zemo this episode. We learned that Zemo likes cars. He's got great taste in old classical cars. And from his coat that he wears, he's got a killer fashion sense. So Zemo, I approve. So he's been hunting down these people that Hydra recruited to replicate the super soldier serum. So he knows some of these people. There is supposedly a super soldier in this like town, this island, but this island is kind of like not your average island. It's like a piracy, it seems like with modern day piracy, with pirates and stuff, but it's modern day. Like, there are a bunch of like thugs and criminals that are on this island. So Zemo and Sam and Bucky have to go into character. So Zemo's obviously his normal self. Bucky has to pretend to be the Winter Soldier, which is like, that must not be great. And then Sam's just rocking this great suit, this like maroon suit with like circles on it. It's a great suit. He's rocking that suit. So they go there to see Selby. Knows where the serum is. We keep seeing and getting mentions of this power broker. We learn this power broker is this guy, this powerful guy who funded Wilfred Nigel. This Wilfred character supposedly was recruited by Hydra to continue working on the super soldier serum or to replicate it in Siberia, but then he was dusted away for 5 years, and then when he came back, the project was abandoned. But before he dusted away after those 5 failed attempts, he was recruited by the CIA after Hydra fell. Ooh, not to mention as the CIA, but also they had blood samples from an American test subject. Traces of the serum was Isaiah. And it just annoys me and frustrates me because it's like Isaiah did not deserve this. Like, I want either his grandson or some Isaiah flashback story. Can we get that, please? How many people are running around with this super soldier serum? I mean, there's 20 people because this Wilfred character, this doctor, but then when he got back from being dusted away for 5 years, this power broker character funded his research and his project, and he ended up creating 12 super soldier serums, and then Carly stole them. So the power broker is out to get Carly. That's probably who sent her the text. And who the hell is this power broker? Sharon's in this episode, because obviously after her stealing Falcon and Cap's shield for them, she's been on the run, deemed a criminal by the government. So she's been living in Manderpool, but she's done really well for herself. She's a hustler. She just kind of was like, I'm kind of done with superheroes, and which I get, because like she kind of got screwed over, but she had some really cool badass action scenes, and Sharon is just kicking ass. She throws a knife at someone, she takes that knife out and throws it at another guy and it just lands in his arm, and she just like stabs him again. She is such a badass. I want her to come back in the later episodes, and even Sam's like, let me help you, let me see what I can do and get you parted. I'm like, yeah, get her parted. Bucky can be parted. Why can't Sharon be parted? They're in the club, and Zemo has this moment where he's just like trying to dance to the music. What the hell is that? Zemo's just like,
la-da-da-da, doing the shuffle, dancing at this club with my friends who are really my enemies, la-la-la.
Like, there's also that moment where the shipping container blows up, and then Zemo disappears, but then Zemo just pulls up with one of those old classical cars, and I could not help but be thinking back to Mean Girls, where it's like, get in bitches, we're going shopping. I could not unsee that image of Zemo just yelling at everyone, let's get in the car, bitches. That happened. She's doing a good thing because she's just trying to help these people out that the government will not help out, but like, some of her methods are not that great. Go to a place in this episode, and they're stealing supplies because building has 6 months worth of supplies just sitting there, and Carly's like, no, we're taking all that stuff. And Carly, because she believes that these people are super bad, but like, they're still people at the end of the day, just doing their job, she blows up her car, which in turn sets this building on fire when there's still people inside the building. Like, I get what she's doing, it makes sense, but at the same time, you're killing innocent people. The thing that I love about these TV shows, especially, is because with the Marvel movies, the movies are more focused on the plot, like the action, connecting everything together, having it all weave together. What these shows are really doing is focusing more on real life issues, which the movies did as well. They're also focusing on the characters and the character moments and really watching these characters. And then in WandaVision, we take a step back. We put on the brakes and we take a step back and we focus on the emotional, the mental journeys that these characters go on. We have them focus on their traumas. We help them focus on like how they're affected by these things. I like that we're doing that with these shows. Like Bucky, we didn't really talk about it in Infinity War Endgame about how he was no longer a part of Hydra and how his mind was fixed. We don't really talk about that because it's more about the plot and like these stories connecting. Whereas in the show, we get to take a step back and really we get to see more about Bucky and how he's coping with losing Steve, how he's coping with the blip, how he's coping with not being a part of Hydra anymore, how he's dealing with that. To see Sam and not just have him be like Falcon, we get to see him deal with like what would it be like for a person of color to be Captain America, dealing with Steve's death, dealing with his own emotional trauma, dealing now with his family, his sister, and their family's legacy. I'm excited to see where the rest of the last three episodes go. I'm excited to see where Falcon and Bucky go in the movies from here. Not to mention that ending of the episode. Now that all that has happened, Bucky, Sam, and Zemo go to this place where they can like hide out, I guess. Bucky's like, I'm gonna go take a walk. And he's walking along and he picks up this like bead, and I didn't recognize it at first. It's like going down this alley, and then he does a turnaround a couple times, and we see one of those Wakanda female warriors. Whoa, wait, Wakanda's? Yeah, she was both in Black Panther and she was also, I believe, in Civil War. She's there and she's like, where is Zemo? I have many, many questions.
Hello guys. I say this every week, but what a episode. Oh my god. A lot happened and there are a few things that I was like, oh no, oh no. Obviously, spoilers ahead. Beginning of episode 4, which was probably, I'd say, the most emotional part of the episode, although that ending, we'll get to that. Episode 4 opens up in Wakanda and it's 6 years ago. And he's around a campfire with one of the members of the Dojo Maja. She's testing those words on Bucky, like 17, longing. And you can see Bucky is like reacting to it. He's starting to like tear up. He's seeing all those flashbacks of things that happened when he was the Winter Soldier, like killing Tony's parents, the things that happened in Winter Soldier, Civil War, and he's just crying. He's just like fighting it so hard to try to push it down because he's not like this anymore. I'm just sitting there like emotional wreck myself because I'm like, Bucky's been through so much, but he fights through it. She's like, you're free. And you can see that he knows that he's free, but at the same time, it's kind of hard for him to admit because like he's free from Hydra's control, but at the end of the day, he still has all of those memories. He still lives with that guilt inside him. He's free, but on the same hand, he's not really free. That's unfortunate. Hey, you're not a part of Hydra anymore, being brain controlled, but oh, you have to live with all of these guilt and all the pain that you caused. Yay! I'm very happy that Steve got to have his happy ending and be with Peggy and always be happy about that. At the same time, it's like, Bucky deserves happiness. Bucky deserves to be still with Steve and stuff like that. To the present. And the Dojo Maja say they are giving Bucky 8 hours before they come for Zemo. I mean, they have a right to take Zemo because like Zemo killed T'Challa's father, T'Chaka. He blew up the UN. He did do all of that in Civil War, so like he kind of does deserve to be locked up. Sam, Zemo, and Bucky go to one of those camps, and they see things are not all they're cracked up to be. And Sam has that really good conversation with Carly. I understand what Carly's doing. Like, she wants a better life for her and all these people that have been pushed aside by the government. Get what she's trying to do. Sam and Carly have that good discussion of like, well, how are you any better than all these other people because you're killing people, you're hurting innocent people, same way the government is, so how are you any different? And she's like, well, they deserved it, and yeah, Sam has a point. How is Carly any different than these other people if she is too hurting innocent people? I think she understood for a little bit what Sam was trying to say. Good old John Walker just has to fuck everything up. God, I hate him. John can't even wait 10 minutes before he's like, I'm bored, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna fuck shit up. And Carly's like, this is a setup, how dare you trick me? And Sam's like, no, it's not. And then all hell breaks loose. Had one job, John, and you can't even do that. Carly runs off, he runs into Zemo, and I'm like, oh, well, this isn't gonna end well. Zemo shoots her, she drops all of the super soldier serum, and Zemo's like, no, not again, and he crushes all of them. He's just breaking and smashing them. Zemo gets knocked in the head by John's shield. There's one vial of the super soldier serum sitting on the ground. John's gonna pick that up. John's gonna take that. I think this episode broke John. Because when the Dojo Maja come for Zemo and they have a fight, and they pretty much kick John's ass, and he's like, they weren't even super soldiers. You can see him start like crack. All the flag smashers, who obviously can kick his ass because they're super soldiers, but the Dojo Maja are not super soldiers. So he's kind of like, I'm useless. Would anyone be able to stand the ground? Bucky couldn't even stand his ground because they put a failsafe in his metallic arm, and one of the Dojo Maja does a command and his arm just like goes poof and falls off. So once he sees that super soldier serum vial lying on the ground, he's like, no, I'm gonna take that. Carly calls Sam's sister. I want to talk to your brother Sam. I want to know if I should kill him or not. And then she threatens Sarah and her son. You do not threaten Sarah and her children. Nope, not gonna have it. So yeah, Sam goes to meet up with Carly. Obviously, Bucky's like, I'm not letting you go by yourself. Never leave your partner behind. Partners in crime. And then Sharon is tracking John and tells Sam that John is on his way to find Carly. Battlestar gets taken. We don't see John take the serum. After he sees his friend hurt, he pushes a guy into a pillar and then like bends a metal bat. So I'm like, yeah, he took that serum, and honestly, I don't know how that's gonna go. Doctor in the first Captain America said the serum can make a good man a great man. Someone like John, that serum will enhance all of that, make him not a very great person, and yeah, it makes him not a very great person. And his friend Battlestar gets kicked into a stone pillar by Carly, and I'm pretty sure he's dead, which I was like, I kind of liked him, so that sucks. He didn't deserve that. He kind of was the reasonable one out of the two of them. John's not happy. He's lost it already. He's pissed. John Walker decides, I'm gonna go after one of Carly's friends, and in the broad of daylight, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him, and then take my shield, Steve's shield, slam it into him, pretty much like slice him up, and then in front of 100 billion people who all have this on video, I'm gonna show everyone, hey, there's blood on my shield. So, if you didn't have reason to not like this Captain America now, he literally killed an innocent man, not just beat him up. He kept stabbing him and stabbing him with the shield, and you could just see blood everywhere, and I was like, oh, Marvel went there. So yeah, that happened. In the next 2 episodes, it's gonna be interesting. So I really liked episode 4. So I can't believe we only have 2 episodes left. It's so sad. Let me know what you guys thought about episode 4 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this review for episodes 3 and 4, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I will see you guys with another video very soon. Bye, guys.